Hey, I am back with another video. It's been probably like a week since I made one. I've been really busy with some things. I had some community service that I was doing. I was, just getting my things in order. Realistically, it feels really great to be in this position in my life. Man, life comes in, it's very sequential. That's why the whole thing is just so very fascinating, all of it. The more I continue to do this work on myself and I continue to better my life and go through the things that are necessary for me to evolve, right? Because it's like, for me, I see what I'm doing as a system, right? And the system in the network is up. As Luthen Rail told Mon Mothma, it grows or it dies. And so I waited long enough. And that's exactly where I'm at in my life. The system in the network has been established, but I kept dying because I wasn't transcending what was needed to transcend in order for me to keep the system evolving, right? And that's where I could look at the external world and I could see that's where we're at too, right? Expanding upon what it is that I have within myself to change the world. It's all about the change from the inside. It's not so much about me getting into politics and me getting into the government or me doing whatever external thing that we've been taught to change the world. That's actually not the angle that I'm going into it with. I see that a lot of people have tried that avenue, and that avenue can really be challenging because then I'm not actually doing the work on myself that's needed to change it from the inside out. It all comes from that, and then it goes like this, right? That's really where I'm at in my life now. I'm not so much intrigued by the theater of the politics or the theater of the mainstream media or the theater of Hollywood elites. Like, that's not where I'm at. I'm in a position where I plan to tap in with the force and I plan to stretch out with my feelings to use what it is that I have to attain what it is that I truly desire. That's really where I'm at in my life. And I feel overall that the more I tap into that, the more I can expand upon those feelings and the greater my life becomes. I'm reading a book called The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. Phenomenal book. And really just tapping into to my unique sort of abilities through that book. And through that book, I've been able to really read and to really understand and to really see my shadows and to really start doing that deeper shadow work. That's where I'm at in my life at this moment. The past couple of weeks have really been, this whole year, realistically, not even past couple of weeks, this whole year, that's what I've been building and I've been working on, and I've had to go through some more shadows, and I've had to kind of get to a deeper level of acceptance about how things are in the world so that my reality changes, so that I prepave a whole new way of being, a whole new way of living. And it's taken me this long, and it's okay because it's a whole new system that had to be established. So I had to overall use the force to be able to get myself into the field of play here. So now I'm going to start really exploring it. I can really start working it. And that's where overall I really see the huge development in my entire life. I look forward to expanding on my channel. Right? I call myself the Young Black Jedi, and I call myself a Jedi because that's how I am. I have the ability to move like that. I have the ability to flow into different things and situations and navigate and to just be one with myself while navigating with all that there is in this world. And that's where I see the development. That's where I see overall that my understanding of my reality continues to expand. My consciousness continues to expand. I'm leading from the space of my heart. And I think that, and it's my opinion anyways, like I think that men in this society overall should be leading from that, because we see what happens when we aren't leading from that position. And you look at these guys who are in power, they're not leading from it. They're just all in their separate self, and they're projecting whatever reality that they have cultivated from that separate self that manifests in other people's reality. So it's all just a projection in the end. Tay uses it the best. When we used to go to school, we used to have those projections. Those teachers would click on, and then there'd be a projection that we watch a movie or do an interactive learning on. That's exactly what we see in the society. It becomes a projection very fast. And that's where overall, like, what is it that I'm emanating out into the world? What is my sort of internal reality looking like on the external? That's how the world changes. It's not the opposite, as I said, going into the theater and arguing and having all these intolerable logic-based arguments, that's not really what is going to change the world, because that's what's happening now. And is it working? If you're wise enough, you see, and most people are, that it's not working. So that's where, for me, I really see the development overall in my entire internal world, and the blossoming in of my internal world that projects into the external world, right? Because it changes the environment. The deeper I go into myself, the harder I love myself, that changes my whole environment. It changes everything that I'm doing. I've healed the relationships with my mother and my father, and healed the mother wound, and healed the abandonment wound, and now I'm able to really hear what's best for me from people that love me, right? Because for so long I was projecting my own inner reality of empire onto my family, or onto Nikki, or onto whoever, and that caused me a lot of turmoil within myself, and it didn't really allow for me to cultivate and create the life that I was overall looking for, and the life that I deserve, and the life that I'm content with. I'm in a very deep state of solitude, and I go to work and go work out, and I love being around people and that kind of thing, but in terms of personal relationships, I'm in a very deep state of solitude, and it makes sense, because then now I have more time with the Creator to expand upon this force field and to become that Jedi that I have always wanted. I've always watched Star Wars. Now Ahsoka's out. Shout out to Dave Filoni, my hero, realistically, because it's in alignment with the work that I'm doing. And I think overall, like, it feels fantastic to be in the position where I enjoy my solitude and I enjoy the things of my life far more than I will be being around other people who aren't doing the same thing as me, and it's not going to be able to align. And I don't have to force myself into anything that just it doesn't flow. And that's where I really see the difference in my life. I see the big change in my life as of this past couple months. As I've said, I've been building towards this and working on it, and I've slipped forward and got myself up, and now I've really been able to connect with the Creator and been able to really start creating the life that I desire, that is in alignment with me, not in alignment with anybody else or anything like that. It's for me to be able to connect with myself and connect with the world around me, because I already understand sort of these traps and sort of these things that I was involved with that only hindered my development and dimmed my force field. Now we can stretch out with the feelings. Now the force field can expand. Now we can really be a centered Jedi like Mrs. Ahsoka Tano, who is now being shown to us in the light. And it's amazing to see all this happen, because it's like, overall, I'm just in that position where I'm just like, man, like, what's to come out of my life is very amazing. What's happening now is very amazing. It's just staying in the moment of the world that I'm in and just tuning out what isn't. It is very simple for me to be able to do that, and to be able to just be alone, and to stop having sex, and to stop indulging in these things that no longer serve me. They did at one point, and they were very useful, but now they've just become useless. And now I'm in a position where I'm in a position of love and a position of power. Those are the two places for me that I love to be in, right? Leading from love ultimately creates this very powerful aura, force field that people gravitate towards, and people feel safe around me, and people feel as if that they can just be themselves. And that's the change, but it all comes from the inside. That's really the video. That's really the title of this video, is the change from the inside, right? Changing the world from the inside. That's my title for this one. I look forward to just building this channel. Like I have to continue. If Joe Rogan didn't have the grit to, if you go back to all his videos, Ralph Smart, like, they never gave up on this. There's a market for this, right? That I can provide for people, that I can be of service to, and like, that's something that I look forward to expanding upon as I continue to work hard on this channel and continue to keep exposing myself and being real. That's what people want to hear. A homeboy last night that drove me back, I was an Uber driver, drove me from community service. His name's Tizzy. Shout out to him. He's a Boston rapper, and he's so good. Like, he's just, his flow, I can't wait to just bump more of his music. Like, he ain't no drill artist that's just following everybody else. Him and I had a good conversation about it. Just like the same old, like, pussy, money, weed. It just gets old after a while, realistically speaking. And it's like, it's nice to hear other people who also are in that alignment. Like, okay, I'd rather just be real. He was telling me he's low on rent, like he's behind on rent. Like, that's the stuff I want, and that's what he's rapping about. He's rapping about his struggles and things that I can identify with, and that's what I plan to bring more of on this channel, is to continue to be more consistent with the overall message of my on my platform. Is it's like, I just want to be real, and if I'm not real, then I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think that overall, it's a phenomenal position for me to be in. I don't want to make this video too long, because I want to be able to keep just hitting it hard, 10, 15, 10, 15, 10, 15, and just making these videos until I can get to a guy like Ralph, who 24 minutes, he's boom, he's just flowing. And I could feel how in this video I just channeled and I flowed, and I really did a good job overall with being able to convey the message that it is that I would like people to understand as to what it is that I'm saying. So I find that just in general, I'm very proud of myself for the work that I'm doing, and being able to operate from a space of love far transcends anything else that I've ever been able to accomplish in terms of the external world. And I've done great external things. I'm about to finish college, and I'm about to have a good job at the restaurant, and I built a good position there and built respect there. So those things are all great. But that all stems from the inside. Again, I've changed my world from the inside out. And that's the overall message of this video, and I really look forward to connecting with more people and making more videos and keeping a consistent regimen with making videos. I look at guy again, Joe Rogan, he's a big influence of mine. Ralph Smart, he's a big influence of mine. These guys never gave up on themselves, and now look at where they're at. So I really look forward to expanding upon this. I am going to leave up here my channel, newer videos, older videos. If you feel like commenting, subscribing, taking a listen, taking a look, saying, hey, this is how I think, like, let's just keep connecting upon all this, and let's just continue to expand upon it. And I look forward to having more videos out for people to watch in the near future. So I hope everybody has a good day. I hope everybody's week's going well. I hope that everybody's tuning into what it is that they need to tune into and taking care of themselves at this time, because it's a very pivotal time in history to take care of yourself. So I'm signing off. May the force be with all of you, and may you have a great rest of the day. Take care.